Greetings to you, traveler. I am the modern druid, and welcome to this 8th concept of delirium. This time, we'll be introducing not just one, but two personal concepts, namely, media profusion and cultural profusion. These will serve as counter-trends to the Stiglerian concepts of symbolic misery and spiritual misery. First, by media profusion, we mean the explosion of access to media content made possible by the web. Texts, images, audio, video, software, you name it. And this volume is growing exponentially. We might ask, what's the energy cost of such profusion? In the past, archiving meant selecting, keeping just 10% of what was produced. To archive was to destroy 90% of content, preserving only the essentials. But today, we seem to want to keep everything. That raises important questions, but let's set them aside for now. The fact remains, we are living in a time of unprecedented access. Anyone, almost anywhere, can access almost anything, anytime. This is absolutely new in the history of humanity. In the previous concept, we introduced the idea of bourgeoisification, the hypothesis that lower-class individuals, thanks to digitization, are gaining access to cultural practices once reserved for the elites. Indeed, digitization allows for new forms of learning, new modes of participation, processes of deproletarianization. Actually, digital cultural industries, especially the GAFAM platforms, still have a strong proletarianizing tendency. And perhaps that's always the case when a new technical system emerges. Some knowledge is lost, but new knowledge is also created, built upon those ruins. We are thus faced with two opposing tendencies: proletarianization, the externalization and loss of knowledge; bourgeoisification, the acquisition of cultural capital by previously excluded individuals. Let's recall. In the proletarianization, according to Stigler, an individual loses knowledge due to their relationship with a technical system. With the bourgeoisification, a lower-class individual gains access to formerly elite practices thanks to new technologies. Some may object that bourgeoisification isn't really happening, and that Stigler was right. We're mainly seeing proletarianization. Fair enough, but it's undeniable that we live in a time of media profusion. And this profusion, linked to the web, might be directly opposing the spiritual misery generated by previous, analog, media systems. We defined spiritual misery as the condition where streams of consciousness are hyper-synchronized by analog mass media, TV and radio. But now, with the reticulated media profusion of the web, we all have access to different content, we can choose what we engage with, we follow different algorithms and personal trajectories. This leads to a desynchronization of consciousness. And with it, we hope, a re-singularization of individuals. Thanks to media profusion, we can each follow a unique or singular path. Sure, there's a lot of nonsense out there on the web, but we also see individuals sharing their passions, communities forming around knowledge and practice, enthusiasm for cooking, doing-yourself things, art, philosophy, etc. YouTube channels sparking vocations, offering guidance, and stimulating desire. This might be the birth of a new libidinal economy, a rechanneling of biological drives into symbolic and cultural creation. Libidinal economy gives rise to objects of desire. And when we desire something, we tend to take care of it. The word care comes from the Latin word cura, which is also the root of the word culture. So we could say, Culture is the act of caring for what we love. Taking care of an object of desire makes us feel better about ourselves. It strengthens our self-esteem, our primordial narcissism. And theoretically, it grows love for others, for humans, animals, the world. Then to conclude, yes, the media profusion can disorient us. But it can also lead to care, participation in symbolic life, and what we call the cultural profusion. And the cultural profusion would happen when the majority of the population would try to take care of themselves and of the world. These are the very antidotes to symbolic misery. To summarize, after a time of symbolic and spiritual misery created by analog mass media, we are living now a time of media profusion with the digitalization of society. It keeps proletarianizing effects, but it can also make us develop new knowledge and new savoir-vivre. And after the media profusion could appear the cultural profusion, where we learn once again to care for ourselves, the others, and for the world. So, to allow now a bit of delirium. From a time of spiritual misery, we may be moving toward an age of, one can call, the great love. Let's see that in the next chapters.